Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a follow-up on the Jeep we were doing the live stream throttle control issue with. We were kind of inconclusive. We spent about 3 hours testing stuff. We couldn't find anything obviously wrong other than the throttle body was sticking at times. Electrically, it looked as normal as can be. I didn't look for known good, known bad waveforms on IATN during the live stream because they haven't really given me permission to use any of that content for my videos, and it's kind of hard to do in a live stream and not show people's names and all that other stuff. So I just opted to not use it. I still haven't looked back. But what we did, the customer's gonna pick it up. I told him let's wait another day. I'll have a little more time to work on it. I got it in today, ran fine. Started up and ran it. Just let it run for a while. I had the scope hooked onto it. I got a bunch of captures while it was working, and then it finally acted up. I plugged in the other throttle body that the customer supplied. Had pretty much the exact same signals, maybe even a little less response. And then I called up the dealership. They had a throttle body on the shelf. Said, hey, can I plug this thing in and try it? I won't even mount it up. They said, yeah, go for it. I plugged it in, same thing. So now at this point, we either have a wiring issue or a PCM issue or a connection issue. I did get captures from all of the components. We know the throttle body has that sticky spot, so it needs replaced. And then it started working again. And then it quit working. And it started working again. And it was kind of off and on. And then I got it to where it was pretty well steady, not working. And what I did is I started cycling the key, because every time you cycle the key, the throttle body will open and close, while I had someone pushing on connectors on the PCM, wiggling the PCM, wiggling harnesses, and I think we have it narrowed down to the PCM, and let me show you why. As you can see, the little throttle light is on the dash right there flashing at us. We have a check engine light. The engine's not on, so the check engine light is going to remain illuminated. But a lot of times it'll just sit there and flash if you don't have any codes. So I'm going to turn this off, back on. I heard the throttle body actuate that time. Does the throttle body light go out? No, it doesn't go out, but it's not flashing this time. So I'm guessing we didn't set a code on that key cycle. That one looked fine. And I'm also looking at the waveform on my Pico. See, that time the throttle body did not actuate. I'll see if I can overlay those screenshots as I'm doing this. Back on. And most of the time it looks the same, but every once in a while we get a key cycle that the throttle body does not respond the same as other times, like that one right there. That time I guarantee you it set a code. And I know this now by looking at the waveform. If I start it up right now, we probably have no throttle response. Nope, it goes into a stationary default position on the throttle body. It has a misfire. It's cutting injectors to limit RPM. Turn the key off, wait a second. Turn the key back on. We'll see if the throttle body responds. We got a little more response that time, but not quite what I was looking for. Little bit there. And let me grab an assistant. He is going to push on the PCM connectors as I turn this key on. Before we do that, I'm going to cycle it a few times, make sure we're in a fail mode. So that time it worked. Okay, now we are not working once again. Go ahead and push on the connectors. And that time it worked fine. So that time we had nothing. Wiggle the connectors or kind of push on a different angle. Okay, that time I had a weird kind of glitch. Nothing there. Push at a different angle. and it worked fine that time. Okay. And nothing there. Pull it up and towards you again. Okay. Go ahead and flex the body. Okay. That's it. Okay, so here's what my theory is. My theory is that the PCM board internal of the PCM has a bad solder joint, bad connection, and by pushing on the connectors, because it's not, we tried it several ways. We didn't, one time we didn't push on the connectors, we just kind of flexed the body of the PCM, just grab the corner of it and kind of twist it, and we get a response out of it that way. So I think what happens is as the PCM warms up, that's why it ran fine this morning. After it ran for a while, it acted up. As it warms up, something expands, we lose contact. Okay, now that we know what's going on, I wanted to point out one more thing that I struggled with during the live stream, and that was finding a proper pinout for the PCM. Daryl Coffrin from Snap-on reached out to me, let me know that it is in the scan tool under component test, or from ProtoMan, you'll log in, you'll enter the vehicle information, and then right here are the commonly used icons under the One Search Plus menu. Over here there is component test. We're going to go to engine, PCM, and right there we have connector, all the identification, connector number 2, identification, 3, identification, and 4. This would have been super helpful for me to look up during the live stream. It would have been a little easier to identify which connector I needed. Now, I unfortunately am not going to get the chance to put a PCM in this and confirm that everything is 100%. The customer picked up the vehicle. He's going to pull the PCM out, send it to a company, and have it rebuilt. Hopefully they find what the problem. I'm sure that it's a bad circuit board or soldering joint. So if they do find that and solder it back up, they can send it back to him. He can plug it right in, no programming required. If you have any questions or comments, put those down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.